Hello everyone, welcome to the video on NIPER multiple choice question series 4. In this video I am going to explain about NMR related questions and their explanation. Remember, all these questions are picked from previous NIPER exam papers. One more thing, I have made NMR videos, two videos I have made it. One is on basic principle, the other video is on instrumentation and interpretation. So to understand basic principles of NMR and instrumentation interpretation, please refer those two videos which are there in my channel. Now this video has got all the questions from previous NIPER paper and its explanation. This is my YouTube channel. If you like the video content, do subscribe and share with your friends. Let's get into the topic. Now NMR signal mainly depends on what? See, if you remember, the NMR spectra has got a delta scale is there on which you have the reference sample is tetramethylselene, which is given as 0 value. The protons which are highly shielded will come under this downfield and you will get signals according to different kinds of protons. And these signal mainly depends upon the electronic environment surrounding these protons. So NMR signal mainly depends upon electronegativity of nearby atom, because these are known as chemical shifts. These chemical shifts will arise due to electronic environment around this proton. So the option A, which says electronegativity of nearby atom, is the correct answer. Hydrogen bonds of the molecule, no. Charge on atoms, no. Mass of the molecule, no. The only correct option is electronegativity of nearby atom. Moving to the next one. Now, acetylenic protons are shielded due to which effect? Now, we need to understand about acetylenic protons. When these acetylenes are placed in NMR instrument, they will be oriented in this direction. The external magnetic field will be applied in this direction. Now, understand this, the external magnetic field has to be felt by this proton and they should undergo resonance. But these electrons also has got induced magnetic fields. So the external magnetic field will be shielded because of this induced magnetic field. If you see in case of acetylenic protons, the induced magnetic fields will be like this. The induced magnetic field will be moving in this direction. Now when you see them, they are moving in this direction. So what is happening here? See, this induced magnetic field is in this direction and the external magnetic field is in this direction. So what happens is there occurs a kind of shielding of this external magnetic field. So whatever you apply from external side, it will not be felt by this proton because the local magnetic field is coming in opposite direction. See, both the protons are oriented such that. So what happens? These protons are highly shielded. Now see, when you see the entire molecule, there are certain zones are there. See, this current is moving like this and going like this. So if a proton is placed here, it will be de-shielded. Why it is de-shielded? Because the induced magnetic current is in this direction, whereas the external field is also in this direction. So the external field will be felt by this proton will be more. That is called as de-shielding. But here what is the condition? The induced magnetic field is in different opposite direction to this external magnetic field. So these are shielded zones. They are known as shield regions. Now look at this. In the same atom, if the protons are present here, they will be de-shielded. If the protons are present here, they will be shielded. This property is known as anisotropy. Anisotropy means quality of exhibiting property with different values when measured along with different directions. That means if a proton is in this direction, it will be shielded. If the proton is here, it will be de-shielded. But due to the external magnetic field orientation, acetylenic protons are oriented here. So what happens? They will get shielded. So this property is called as anisotropy. So acetylenic protons are shielded due to what is this effect? It is known as diamagnetic anisotropy. Anisotropy means orientation of proton at different places will have a different effect. See, if the proton is here, it will be shielded. If the proton is here, if the proton is here, it will be de-shielded. If it is here, it is shielded. So this is depending upon the orientation of the proton, and that effect is known as anisotropic effect. In case of acetylenic protons, they will be shielded. Shielded protons will get closer to tetramethylselene and the values will be around 2 ppm. The delta values will be near 2. So the option is diamagnetic anisotropy. Moving to the next one. Now, chemical shifts originate from. How do they originate? In the first question also we have seen chemical shifts are because of electronic shielding. I have already explained you at the end you have tetramethylsilane internal standard is there. So because of these electronic effects, various protons, equivalent protons will come at various places, and this difference is because of electronic environment. That is what is known as electron shielding. So the option B is correct. Moving to the next one. Now, in a magnetic field, nuclear dipoles. Now, you need to understand this. See, the nucleus will be revolving like this with a particular axis. It will be revolving like this. Now, in NMR, you apply external magnetic field. When external magnetic field is applied, what happens? This nucleus will align in external magnetic field direction. When it is rotating, it will have a particular frequency. So, the change from here to the external field direction is known as precess. So what happens in a magnetic field, nuclear dipoles precess around the magnetic field direction at the frequency Larmor frequency. So whatever the frequency this nucleus gets because of the influence of external magnetic field is known as Larmor frequency. So this change in direction is known as precessing. So the right answer is this one. So when you apply external magnetic field, the direction of this nucleus will changes. It revolves with a frequency known as Larmor frequency. This is a fundamental concept. So the option D is correct here. Moving to the next one. Now the purpose of shimming is, now see, shimming is a technique. The shim device is used to adjust homogeneity of magnetic field. What do you mean by this? See, externally you will be applying a magnetic field. See, the sample is placed in a particular test tube kind of thing, and the sample will be revolved to get the sample uniformity. But externally you will be applying external magnetic field. To get this external magnetic field uniformly distributed, shimming is applied. So shimming will reduce unhomogeneity. So the purpose of shimming is what? Obtain homogeneity of B1 field, the external field. It is not the static field. No, it is the homogeneity of external field. So shimming is done to get homogeneity from external field. Moving to the next one. Now, the number of protons and neutrons is even. The spin of nucleus will be which of the following? So this is about basically nucleus spin. Now you need to understand certain principles. This kind of questions are keep coming all the time. Now let us understand this. Now what happens is in the nucleus we have protons are there and you have neutrons are there. Both protons also spin as well as neutrons also spin. But if only one proton and one neutron are there, both the spins will get cancelled. So this is the concept. Or even number of protons are there, spin will get cancelled. Even number of neutrons are there, spin will get cancelled. That means the nucleus will not spin. So the rules is, let's say if number of protons plus number of protons and number of neutrons, if both are even in number, that means equal numbers are there. What happens? Spins will get cancelled. So what happens? The spin will be 0. No spin will be there. So protons are in even number, neutrons are in even number. It will not spin at all. Now, if number of neutrons plus protons, the addition is odd number, then it will have half integer spin. Remember, the addition is odd number, then it will be half integer spin. Now, if neutrons are an odd number, protons are an odd number, then the spin will be integer spin. So you got it? So both of them even, no spin. Both of them in combination, when you add odd, half integral spin. If both of them are odd, integer spin. So what is the question about? If number of protons and neutrons is even, the spin of the nucleus, what happens if they are even? 0 spin. They don't show any spin. That is the reason why only few atoms nucleus will show NMR. Like when you take a proton, hydrogen, what do you have inside the hydrogen? Only one proton is there. One proton, because it is odd number, it will be spinning. And it is a single one, it has got half spin. So this is what is the concept. So both of them are even, it is 0 spin. Moving to the next one. Now, what do you mean by integrals in NMR spectrum? When you see the NMR spectra, a TMS signal will be there and different protons will have this kind of integration. See, you see this heights, These heights are known as a kind of integration. Now that integrations will give area of signal, and that area of signal will correspond to number of protons. Number of protons. The signal with the short integral has got lower number of protons, whereas the signal with high area and integration will have high number of protons. So the question is about what is meant by integrals of NMR spectrum means it will tell you the area of signal which corresponds to number of protons. So the option D is correct. Moving to the next one. Now, which feature in NMR spectrum provides information about the electronic environment of the protons in a compound? Option is chemical shift. See, the same concept is tested in three different ways. The moment you see NMR spectra, the difference in signal is because of electronic environment, and this is what is known as chemical shift. In fact, chemical shift is nothing but the difference between tetramethylsilane signal and a particular proton signal. This is called as chemical shift, and this is called as chemical shift. TMS is given 0 signal, and this one will be 4, this one will be 6, something like that, and this is what we call it as chemical shift. And why it is occurring? Because the proton surrounding electronic environment will decide where the signal comes. So it corresponds to chemical shift. So the option B is correct one. Moving to the next one. Now nuclei having either the number of protons or neutrons as odd. Look at this, either protons are odd or neutrons are odd. What happens is if only one thing is odd, think about proton. What do you have in proton? Only one proton is there. If one proton is there, it is odd number, hence it has got what? The spin is half integer. So the option is half integral spin. Moving to the next one. Now, the NMR signal from a proton that has 3 proton neighbors equivalent to each other but different from itself will be split into. So this is called as spin-spin splitting. It follows a rule called as n plus 1. If there are 3 adjacent protons, 3 plus 1, the signal will split into 4. Now understand the concept. See, you have 2 signals are there. If this one corresponds to 3 protons, this signal will split into 4. That is what is asked. If this one has got only 1 proton, this signal will split into 2, doublet, and this one is quartet. So why? The adjacent neighboring protons plus 1, that is what a splitting pattern is. So here it says 3 protons. So it will be split into how much? Quartet. 4. Option C is correct. Moving to the next one. Now, how many signals would the propene give in proton NMR spectrum? Now we need to understand it carefully. Let me write the structure. Propene. 3 carbon containing 1, and it has got 3 protons, it has got 1 proton, and here you have 1 proton and 1 proton. Now interpretation requires all of you to recognize the equivalence of protons. Now see, all these protons are equivalent. Let us consider it as A. Now this is only 1 proton, this is a different one, so this is a different proton. Now coming to these 2 protons, look at them, it has got a different adjacent environment, and here different adjacent environment is there. So these 2 are not same, they are different. So how many equivalent protons are there? 4 different equivalent protons are there. So how many signals we get? We get 4 different signals, we'll get it. So this is how you need to think. Don't get confused with these kind of protons. You need to think about adjacent environment. Look at this. Here you have a proton, but here you don't have anything. So these 2 are not same, they are different. Going to the next one. Now, which one of the compounds will display only 2 bands, both singlets in NMR spectra? Now our job here is to find out 2 different equivalent protons. Let us solve one by one. Now metacresol. See, cresol is the one with hydroxy and methyl groups. Ortho and meta position is this one. Now this is metacresol. Now see, all here you have protons are there. Now you need to figure out how many different kinds of protons are there. See, this one is a different proton, this is a different proton, this is a different proton, this one is different, A, B, C, this is D, E, and this one is F. So how many signals are there? 6 signals will be there. What is the question about? You need to figure out only 2 bands, 2 signals. So this one is ruled out. No, this is not. Let us move on to the other one. Nitrobenzene. Nitrobenzene. Look at this. This is a nitro group. Now, right, see, all here you have protons are there. Now we need to figure out what kind of, how many signals we are going to get it. Now look at them. See, these 2 are similar kind because they are adjacent to nitro group, and these 2 are similar one. But this para one is a different one. So how many signals you get? 3 signals. What is the question about? Only 2 bands, 2 signals. No, this is also ruled out. Well, let us see about the other one. Paraxylene. See, paraxylene, the structure is this one. 3 methyl groups on benzene ring, para position. Now how many signals are there? See, all here you have protons are there. Now when you see the equivalence, these two are similar kind. Now the rest, all of them are same kind because they are surrounded with similar kind of environment. So how many signals you will get? 2 signals. What is the question? 2 bands. This is the right answer. Now let us see the last one too. What is this about? Para-dichlorobenzene. So here chlorine is there, here chlorine is there, and all here you have protons are there. Now see, para position chlorines are there and all of them are similar protons. The surrounding environment is similar and you will get only one signal. So out of this, what is the answer? Paraxylene. So understand the structure and chemical equivalence of protons. You can do any kind of problem. Moving to the next one. Now, reference standard used in NMR is tetramethylsilane. See, there is a reason for that. This is tetramethyl, means 4 methyl groups are there. Now, when you see the silicon, carbon is more electronegative than silicon. When it is more electronegative, what happens? All the electrons are pulled towards carbon. When more electronic environment is there, what happens to protons? They will be shielded, very highly shielded. That is the reason why it is taken as internal standard, which comes at one end, because they are highly shielded, because carbon is bonded to an electropositive atom. Carbon is more electronegative, so it will be pulling electrons and it will cause higher amount of shielding. See, when you read this NMR spectra, understand this. Anything which is moving away from TMS is called as deshielded, whereas which is moving closer to TMS is called shielded one. So the internal standard, reference standard is tetramethylsilane. Next one. Chemical shifts in NMR is expressed as delta. Delta scale is there and that is what is expressed. So the option is A. Next one. Now how many peaks will be observed in NMR spectra of diethyl ether? Let me write this one. Diethyl group is this one. Oxygen. This is ether. Right, look at them. When you see the chemical equivalence, these two are similar kind of protons. These two are similar kind of protons. So how many signals you get? 2 signals. What is the option? Option A. Moving to the next one. Now how many types of protons are present in 1,2-dibromopropane? Again, let us write and see. Propane, 3 carbon containing one. At first position and second position you have in first position and second position you have bromines are there. Again, look at them. See, this one is a similar kind of proton, right? 1. Now this is a different kind of proton. Now again, look at this. This proton is surrounded with a bromine. This proton is surrounded with 2 protons. So these two are not same. This one is C kind, this is a D kind. So how many signals you get? Totally 4 signals you get. Understand, if a carbon has got 2 protons, they need not to be same. You need to look the surrounding environment. So 4 signals will get it. Moving to the next one. Now how many peaks are possible for paracetamol? Let me write the structure and then understand. See, paracetamol, acetaminophen, it is also known as. At para position hydroxy is there, and NH, CO, CH3. Now see, for all the benzene ring thing, you need to write these protons to get the clarity. Now let us write different kind of proton. So this is a different kind of proton. Now the proton on this nitrogen is a different kind, right? Now these 2 protons are of one kind and these 2 protons are of one kind, and this one is a different kind. So totally how many? 5 signals will be there. Now let me explain a little bit of chemical shift too. Now look at this. This is a methylenic protons. They will be more shielded and they will come at close to, the delta value will be very close to tetramethylsilane, TMS. Now coming to these proton, B proton, see, this is attached to an electronegative atom, nitrogen, and they are kind of exchangeable protons. So it will be highly deshielded because it is attached to an electronegative atom. Now coming to C type of protons. Now C type of protons, they are on ring wherein you have benzene has got anisotropy and deshielding, so they will be a little bit downfielded. Whereas D, this one is also downfielded, which you get signal at 6.68. Now the last one, again this proton is also attached to an electronegative atom, so signal will be around 9. So see, when you get a common idea about shielding and deshielding, you will be able to write all these values. But finally, how many signals? It is 5 signals. So the option is T. Now, delta value of acetylene group in NMR spectrum compared to alkenes. See, acetylenes, at the very beginning we have seen acetylenes protons are shielded, whereas alkene protons are de-shielded. Because of their orientation of their protons, they will be de-shielded. So de-shielded, you will get a signal at downfield. The signal value, delta value will be around 4.5 to 6.5, whereas shielded one, this one will be around 2.5. So what happens, delta value of acetylene group 2.5 is compared to alkane is what, lower. This is at 4.5, this is at 2.5. So the option is C. Next one. Now, in NMR, what region of the spectrum does one typically observe hydrogens bound to aromatic ring? Again, let me draw this. See, again, this is a kind of a typical de-shielding effect. See, all the protons are oriented like this. So these protons are oriented like this, and the external field is applied in this direction. So when you see the magnetic current, how it goes is, it starts and goes like this. See, it starts and goes like this. Look at them, it is coming like this. So this field is going towards these protons and external field is in this direction. This is what is called as de-shielding. So whatever you apply externally, it will be reinforced with local magnetic fields and the proton will see more magnetic field. That is the reason why the signal comes between 7 to 8 ppm. So the option is C. Next one. In NMR, why TMS is used as a reference standard? This is a good one. See, TMS is very highly volatile one. What is the advantage with that? You take the sample, you just sheet it, you will get rid of TMS and your sample will be pure sample. One of the answer. Gives intense singlet signal. True, because it has got 12 protons are there, tetramethyl, 4-methyl groups, 12 protons. A singlet will be there, which is very prominent. You don't have any confusion and it occurs at the end. This is also true. Highly shielded, true. Because of this highly shielding, it gets at the end and you don't get any overlapping of signals. So all of them are correct with respect to TMS. So these are all the questions which have come from NMR. If you like the video, do subscribe and share this video. Thank you for watching this video.